When I think about your jobs, I like get the jitters. I get the shakes. I mean, there
You
must
should.
be, I should, right? How do you manage that constant dopamine rush and the anxiety and the nervousness about somebody else breaking it and just managing beyond all, just managing all of the relationships you have with all of the people in your sports? I guess it's just the day to day of the, the workload and the time on the phone. How do you live life, Shams?
It's a great question. I think there's not a ton of like the word balance. I've just completely thrown out. I mean, to me, if I'm doing this, and I'm sure Adam and Jeff feel the same way, you have to be all in. And I feel like I carry that with everything I do. As far as like lessons that I've learned, I learned very early on, like I have to be all in. But Adrian Wojnarowski, who I worked with at Yahoo Sports, Jeff worked with at Yahoo Sports, he gave me advice like when I was first starting to really talk about going to the vertical. And then we started the vertical, which is like, you don't want to be the one that calls an agent or calls for information on the first day of free agency. And so to me, that gave me a valuable lesson. Like this can't be something, it can't be a tit for tat. It can't be something, where you don't go speak to someone for a year and then you're blowing them up for information about a signing or a trade or whatever. Like you want to have,
you got to lay the groundwork. It can't just be that transactional and that transparent. It's about long-term actual relationships.
And for me, every single day is a continuation of the prior day, and like continuing the conversations with the same people, the people, the quote unquote sources, right? The people that you build relationships with. And so that was very important. I still have goosebumps to this day when I feel like I'm onto something, when I get a tip, when I get a story, of course. There's definitely an adrenaline rush that comes with it still. So maybe when that doesn't happen, it's probably the day where where I think you just leave, or you're just like, I don't care about it the same or whatever. But I still have such a great love and passion. And as long as those goosebumps are still there, like it's every single day is like game on.
Well, a couple of things here. Number one, Chris Mortensen obviously signed off on ESPN, hiring me back in the day. And I think Mort had the foresight and vision to see where this business was headed. And frankly, he didn't want to be a part of that. He was so great at what he did, the relationships, getting at stories, figuring out news. But he saw this lifestyle that you're talking about, Jeremy, and I don't think he wanted to do that anymore. And Shams brought up Woj, and Woj got out of it because he didn't want to do it anymore. It just became too relentless, because it is unbelievably relentless. And about a year ago, we all went to a concert in Pittsburgh. Jeff was there. I was there. Pete Thamel was there. Woj brought together a bunch of people, including many from the basketball world. And we saw Bruce Springsteen in concert. And I would say, and I thought of this the other day, there are very few instances in our lives where you forget that your phone is on you, you forget what your job is, where you actually pause and enjoy life. And I don't mean to be morbid and depressing about it, but to Sham's point, you live these jobs. And there are very, very few moments where you feel like you're disconnected from the job. It almost never happens. And when you can escape for an hour or two to see Bruce Springsteen and forget about what you're supposed to do, which almost never happens, that is a reminder of how daunting and challenging these jobs are, how much they require. Look, I think everybody's job, if you're conscientious about it, is something that you live all the time. But Woj would come to Bristol during NFL free agency. He had done this a couple of times, and he watched me the first day, and he said, I just wanted to watch what it was like for somebody else to do it, so that I would have that PTSD of watching somebody else do the job that takes.
He did the same thing with me, and it was a little bit daunting, honestly. It's like if you're a baseball player and Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge are watching you swing. It's like, how can you do it like them? But I think there's a kinship among us. Like there are very few jobs like this, not just in sports journalism, not just in journalism, but anywhere. They are all consuming. And Shams, I try to find balance. I do my very best. Adam and I have kids. Like, it becomes different at that point. And I hope for your sake that you can find that at some point too, because as obsessive as we have to be, there needs to be something else. And everybody, whether you find that something else in kids or otherwise, you got to find it, or this job will kill you.
But it is a transition. And if I could share this story, because I love this story, it's so good. When I became a father and my daughter Dylan was about a year old, I remember going out. I would take her to lunch every day and I'd be on the phone and feeding her. And I went to go get gas, and I'm in the gas station waiting for Jeff Fisher to finally get a head coaching job. And in that particular head coaching cycle, Jeff Fisher was the hot name, and he had finally gotten a job. He was being hired as the head coach of the Los Angeles Rams. And I ran home from the gas station and I ran inside to this very office that I'm sitting in right now. And I jumped on TV to go do Sports Center. And I'm doing Sports Center. And my wife walked into the office and she goes, "Where's Dylan?" I'm like, "Oh, I forgot she's in the car." That happens sometimes. I don't know that I'm proud of it, but sometimes you get so wound up that you forget everything else that's going on in your life, including your own family and children.
So what do you guys do to get away beyond a Bruce Springsteen concert in Pittsburgh once a year? Like, what do you do, Adam, to actually, find some balance, some serenity on a daily or weekly or monthly basis, whatever it can be?
I'm the wrong guy to ask that question to, because my life is out of balance. I'm just telling you right now, like, again,
you still have to find some release. If it's a glass of red wine, if it's it's got to be something.
We have 4 dogs, and we spend a lot of time at home playing with our dogs. And I relish those moments when the phone is not ringing and we're sitting around enjoying peaceful moments, and I can get through a show or streaming without being interrupted. But I got to be honest, Jeremy, these are not 9 to 5 jobs. These are not Monday to Friday jobs. These are nonstop, 365, 24/7, whatever you want to call it. That's just the way it is. You could have any dinner, party, anything interrupted. It happens all the time. It comes along with the job. You understand it. And I don't say it as a complaint. I don't want people to think I'm complaining about it either. This is what it takes. As Sham looks over to his phone to see if he just missed a story, right? Like, that's what it takes. You just always have to be on.
We'll be done soon.
I think what like Adam, he had the story with young Dill, who I actually met. She's a star. Like, I've had to walk out on dates. Like, I've had to walk out on like social events, a lot of social events.
Very well.
My friends don't really like me. That's why it's very hard to have a consistent relationship, because it's just like, the time that requires, and the time that they deserve rightfully. And there are just moments where I'm just always going to choose this as of right now. The one thing that I do, like how I'm able to get away, is just family time. My whole family's in Chicago. I'm in Chicago. And so we're all like here. We're all in very close proximity. So it's like the little things, right? It could be going on a walk, could be going to, mini golf. It could be playing pickleball, like just like watching a movie together. Now, again, I might not be fully present during those moments. Like, we were literally playing pickleball. This is right before free agency. This is the weekend before free agency started. And I had to fly to Bristol. This is maybe that Friday before. And we were playing pickleball. And literally, I lasted 10 minutes on the court. They were there for maybe an hour and a half. I was just literally pacing on the field for whatever it was, 50, 60 minutes, because that's just what it is. And so, but just trying to be present. And I think my family is gracious enough to where, like, as long as I'm in their presence, they don't make me feel bad. And I think having those types of people around me is what, allows me to keep going.
Pickleball right before the deadline is impressive, Shams.
I've been to a concert before. I went to a Justin Timberlake concert the weekend before the NBA draft a couple years ago. Not probably the best decision I've ever made. Thankfully, no trades happened that night.
Honestly, that is a good decision that you made, though, because you're trying. Jeremy, I like cooking. I would be a chef if I were not a reporter. And so that is how I calm myself down. I've watched probably too much high school baseball with my son playing, and pickleball has become like a good, fun summer activity. I'm with you, Shams.
Oh, that's great.